Without further ado, please join us in welcoming our another speaker, Bayu Azi, for the topic Dynamics of Open Source Graphic Design Communities.
So, hello everyone. The slide is it? Can you? Okay. Okay. Here I'm going to talk about dynamics in open source community in Indonesia, especially in Indonesia, based on my personal experience. And can you go to the first slide? Yeah. I have disclaimer here. What I present here based on my experience or observation of several force graphic design communities or graphic design communities that use force. So it's not entirely a force user. Therefore, the perspective may be different for some people or parties that inside the group. And I will use aliases or categories for some communities to avoid conflict of interest or bad image promotion, because maybe if I talk about the bad side of the communities, the community itself will feel dislike it. So I'll just use aliases or categories, and I want to avoid the promotion because there are most of the common group are paid community that in which principle I disagree with them, so I prefer not to promote them. Okay, go to the next slide. I know that nobody knows about me. You know that? Anybody know me? No? You are not counted. You are my friend. So let me introduce myself. Go to the next slide. I'm Bayu. So I'm just ordinary graphic designer. I use Inkscape for like I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years. I'm using it since 2009 or 2010. I'm also a member of some graphic design community in Indonesia, and these are the communities I joined it: the Inkscape Indonesia, Inkscape Draw Freely, Inkscape Circle, Inkscape ID, and also I joined as our team in Blancon Linux developer and Open Infra ID. I also the last one is where I work. I work as a graphic designer and BTech and ZX Studio. Go to the next slide. These are some my works I do. This is when I joined the Inkscape challenge in Facebook. If you some of you maybe know, years ago the Inkscape group have this challenge, and it's interesting to challenge ourselves to make some drawing. Go to the next. Next. These are my other works. The most left are in in Inkscape ID. We have challenge too, but it's not as often as Inkscape Draw Freely. The middle one is the same. Then the left one is in Inkscape Circle community. We have this, just drawing for fun. The next. This is what I do in the Blancon Linux developer. So at first, this is my first time joining in developer community. At first, I don't know how to. I want to contribute, but I just know how to draw. So it turns out I could contribute by making some wallpaper and some merchandise for the Linux, the Blancon Linux developer. Next. This is some poster I've made for Open Infra ID. If some of you know, I just doing some posters. And the last next is still for Open Infra ID for the Indonesian event, like national event. I make the mascot and the poster, the banner, something like that. And the next. I also, is there any pointer maybe? No. Okay. Next, I also sometimes experiment, try to use the unusual software. You maybe know that LibreOffice Draw. We have that as Office Suite, but I try to use it to draw the thing that I want. So, okay, next. Okay, I'm going to talk about the FOSS graphic design community in Indonesia, and I have some timeline here. Next. So, you can read that. Okay. This is when the 2013. This is when I first time joined in open source group, open source Inkscape user group to be exact. So there are some groups in Indonesia, and the blue one is the FOSS communities. The green one is the common communities. I mean the common communities that use FOSS but not entirely FOSS. Okay. So it's not really clear, but I'll tell some of the group. Next. Okay, the first one is the Komunitas Inkscape and GIMP, or we can translate it Inkscape and GIMP community. It's an online Facebook group established in 2013. That's when Facebook is mostly used for a community or a group event. It's focused in Inkscape and GIMP. At that time, it's quite active, but now it's currently have no particular activity, and some people just share their their YouTube channel, their YouTube video, but the discussion is not very active for now. Next, we have the Inkscape Indonesia. This group is a bit later than the first one, but it's the same. It's Facebook group, and it's established in 2013. It's focused only on Inkscape. And the activity related to the artwork sharing and a specific Inkscape event is declining. I mean, it's not as active as when it's first, it's some previous years, but this discussion is still active. But sometimes the discussion is, people are actually asking the same question. You know that sometimes in Inkscape we have this issue, like we have the question about some tools, and sometimes the question is quite the same, like for some years. Next, we have the Inkscape Circle. It's offline, based in Yogyakarta, Indonesia, and it's established 3 years after the Inkscape Indonesia. It's focused on Inkscape and other FOSS graphic design, and formerly it is a student study group in sport faculty in Yogyakarta State University. So this is, I could say, this the funny part, because the students there in sport faculty are interested in graphic design. That's and at the time they have this weekly meetings, and the members are quite active, but this time is for some years back is currently inactive. Next, this one is Inkscape ID. Maybe some of you have known this. It's quite active group. It's online, based on Telegram group since 2016. It's at first it's focused on Inkscape and GIMP, but then it's focused on every FOSS or open source software related to graphic design and multimedia, and now it's still active and contribute to FOSS project like FOSS conference or summit, collaborate with Creative Commons and other group, and also lately maybe you've seen the maybe you got the info of Inkscape Creative Talk. It's to support Ubuntu Studio. When you have maybe you've heard something about Ubuntu Studio, what's happening with them, then we try to support them with having this online station talk. Next, we have Inkscapedia. It's similar to Gimscape, just focused on Inkscape, but currently have no particular activity, or it's similar to the first one, the first group I present, like the Inkscape and Gim. It's not really active for now. And next, we have this. This is small, Rutinan Gambar Bareng, or RGB. It's I can't say that this is a community, but it's offline study group. Same, it's based in Yogyakarta and focus on Inkscape and other force graphic design. Its member are student from elementary and junior high school, and it's still active, but the meeting is not routine because the members are villagers. You know that in village, we sometimes the students are busy with their study, or because it's villager. One of them sometimes helping their parents with working, and you know that we are Indonesian agriculture country, so sometimes it's I'm sorry sir, I'm trying rice, something like that, and sometimes it's not routine because the mentors personal activity. So next, so its current status something like this. The square, the orange square means the hiatus or the inactive group. The green, I'm still not sure its activity. So the green one, say I didn't explain it on the previous slide. The green one are the common. So Jeff. Oh, sorry. So the first it says common. Right? I use the R initial. This group is formerly a force design group, but now it turns out to be a common group, common communities. I think that the social media is still active, so but I'm not clear about its force use. This one is force group. This is like you know that there are some yellow in the corner. It means paid communities. You know that we have to join, and usually join for the course, but then they invite us to the group community. So this one is paid, but they are committed to force. So they use force. This is segmented common. I mean the group, but segmented. Its a target market is segmented, and this one is one Inkscape group that are inactive because this is quite similar with the case of Inkscapedia. I will tell you about this later. This one is common group, similar to this. These three are common paid course group, and they have these communities too. But I'm not sure about these two. But this one, the middle one, I have some. Yeah, I got info that they are inactive. Next. So based on what force group I've told you, I divide this force group into two types. Next, the first one is the pure force graphic design communities. The second one is the common graphic design communities that use force, among other software. So next, the pure one is committed to force principles, and they committed to use force for graphic design, and they will try to use force no matter what, but sometimes they use some web or alternative methods to get the force design accepted. So it's not finished. I forgot to delete this one. But what I mean with this point is sometimes when we want to sell our graphic design product, we sometimes The website, say just Shutterstock, Freepik, or maybe Adobe Stock. Sometimes they ask for particular format. You know that maybe EPS or any designer here, or anybody like to do design stuff? What's what you use? Really? That's nice. Use any other software? I mean, Adobe Illustrator or Corel Draw, maybe? No? No. Okay, that's nice. Okay. Sometimes the website asks for a format that usually used by proprietary, and we try to do some trick or to do some alternative methods to make it possible for us, the open source software user, to sell it, to send it. These are the group about the communities that part of that is the pure graphic design communities. Next. The second one is the common graphic design communities that use FOSS. They are mainly using FOSS as community. You know that. And my oh, sorry, could you just go back to the timeline? Just I'm sorry. You know that this is I forgot to explain this. Oh yeah, yeah. This is the before pandemic. You know that before the pandemic, we've seen this group. Then after the pandemic, at the beginning of the pandemic, we have this paid group increasing, right? So they are mostly beginning to understand, to aware that Inkscape or other FOSS design software are useful, and they're trying to sell. You know that? Sell the core, something like that. Go back to the last slide. I'm telling you. How many times I've. Hey, okay, okay. Not that yet. Almost. So they are not committed to the FOSS principle, and maybe don't even know. They just use it to sell stuff. Next. So what to learn next? Okay. The first one is we know that some of the group is inactive, and the first one we need to learn is don't do things alone. The communities that ends up inactive or hiatus are mainly because they are maintained by one key figure. When that key figure is maybe, say it's busy for working or sick, the group has no activity, or the community has no activity. Then we need to invite more people, because you know that FOSS community is about collaboration. We can share the tasks, we can share the idea whatsoever, and we can also make joint event with our project with similar community. Next, and this is important too. The regeneration is important. Every great team needs great successors. Sometimes there are communities with some members, maybe say it's maybe 5 or 10 members, but they can't have another generation, so it's still the same. It's inactive. So we can use every opportunity we have, like in school, campus, community, or study group. And it's okay to have side event, like just meet up, just talk, just eat together, maybe doing something that not related to FOSS. We could do it sometimes, because sometimes we need it. Some developer is not always developing stuff, maybe something like that. And next, this one is also important. Free isn't just about the use. This is what happened with the common group that use the FOSS as community. Some people take the open source graphic design or open source software as an alternative for the paid one. So just using it as the alternative. And when it happens, they forget about the principle, the idea of open source itself. They just use it, and sometimes they just the paid community. Sometimes they just hey, I have this the open source the FOSS course. Join us. But sometimes they don't explain the principle behind its what. It just use it as commodity, and that's why we need to innovate how to use the software easier and more effective, make some high quality template to use. It's related to what happened with after the pandemic, because people like to use something that practice or easy to use, like Canva maybe. So we have to use, and we could try to experiment for fun. Next. Okay, that's all. Anything to discuss? Maybe time is over. I'm sorry. Okay, so that's all. Maybe one or two. Maybe no, nobody. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Thank you for Mr. Bayu for the talk session. Thanks very much. Okay, so unfortunately we have no time right now. So after this session we'll be taking break and we'll be back to next session at 3:30 p.m. So right now I'm about to invite all of you guys to go downstairs to take photo. To group photo for our event today. So please, and we'll be having lunch break after this. See you at 3:30 p.m. Thank you.
Hello, check.